Hey, webheads, unite. That's right, guys. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, and welcome to episode 23 of After the Pull. We're going to be discussing DC Comics for the month of June. That's right. It seems like it literally is every single day that we are getting news of when comics are released. First, you get dates, and they're like, yeah, these are when these comics are going to be released. And then you're like, yes, awesome. And then it's like, no, just kidding. We're going to release these books these days. And then we're going to release these books these days. I think I had a show last week discussing on when certain Marvel comics were going to be released, and they changed their release schedule. And now you got DC Comics with their June release schedule, and when Batman is going to be released when you thought it was going to be released earlier. So shit has definitely changed, and we're going to go through that all again today. So hopefully you guys will be on board for this wild ride, and we're going to have a lot of fun, right? So welcome, guys, and hopefully everyone is being safe still during this whole pandemic, now that a lot of us are able to go outside and do certain things. But remember, be safe. I was able to go to the comic book shop. My place was open, but inside I had to wear a mask. I had to social distance. There was actually plexiglass between me and the comic book shop guy behind the desk. Pretty much insane, right? We couldn't believe it. It was just weird. And I was in there for like an hour and we were talking. So it's going to be a lot of fun today, guys, talking about that stuff. And if you were able to get to the shop, I would love to hear in the comment section what you guys actually picked up this past week, if you did pick up anything. So remember, always subscribe, like, hit the bell. Super chats are more than appreciated. I really appreciate all you guys watching and doing all that stuff anyway. And also, don't forget, you can always become a Webhead member. Just got to hit that join button. There's 3 different options. There's the silver, there's the gold, and then there's the elite. Anything helps. It's definitely greatly appreciated. And you get all these awesome perks on top of it. So thank you so much. So yeah, we're going to have a good show again. I'm going to show you more stuff from my comic collection as we talk about the DC release schedule. We're also going to be talking about Marvel, how they decided to say, hey, we're going to release digital comics now before some of the physical books come out, and it's mainly on the actual mini series. So I guess this is their way of kind of I don't know, catching up in a way, so things don't get delayed even more. I guess it's smart when it comes to the miniseries, but we'll be discussing about that, taking your guys' comments, and and anything else that you want to talk about. So we're here just to have some fun, to chill, and soon we'll get regular comics back. Let's see who's on the show so far today. Let's see. We got Scoundrels on the show. He says, hello, it's been a while. Yes, sir, it definitely has. Welcome back, Scoundrel. He says, I'm still reading the Percy Jackson series. It's really good so far. Hey, man, it's nothing better than to, I guess, read, during a pandemic and there's not much to do, right? Definitely. And then we have Nico 413 says, what's up, Mike? I'm reading the current Daredevil run. Really good so far. I am going to have to read that Daredevil run. Everyone is telling me about it. Chip Zdarsky. I think if you can put it in the comment section below, Nico, I heard there is an upcoming issue, I think, where new readers can jump on. If you want to tell me that, I think I might jump on Daredevil. I haven't got a chance to jump on, and people were telling me that series is good, so I definitely want to read it for sure. And then I'm going to have to pick up the trades also too. Scoundrel says, have you watched The Witcher? I know it's off topic, but that show is graphic, but not bad. LOL. So that's based off of the video game, right? I saw 30 seconds of it, and I just never got a chance to dive into it. But I've heard great things about it. I'm looking forward to maybe watching it one day. It's just a matter of sitting down and watching TV. Right now, my kids are home, so they watch the TV right now. Let's see. When I'm done with the series, I'm going to go back to comics, new comics, comic books I should read. Well, comics right now haven't been out for almost 6 weeks now. We're just starting to get a few comic books back from DC, and that's about it. But the one thing I can say right now from Marvel, at least, is Thor. I could say Venom, Daredevil, Batman. That's really good right now. So let's see. Daredevil is great. So that's what Vinny says. So Vinny's on the show. Welcome. And then we have Ken. I can't say your name. Bat fan here, waiting for Bat titles. Yeah. So I think, aren't we getting like Batman and the Outsiders and all that stuff coming out too? Scoundrel Gaming is like, yeah, video game book. Yep, exactly. From Heroes to Icons is on the show. Issue 19 or 20. He's putting the suit back on. Great time to jump on the book. So what issue are we on currently when it comes to Daredevil? That's what I want to know. And if there are any trades, and I'm being lazy right now. Like, I could do the research and find out myself, but why not ask you guys while you guys are on here, right? So definitely I want to know if there's trades out for this series and how many, and I would love to pick them up and read it. So this way, maybe next week when I go to the comic book shop, if there is a trade in Daredevil, I'll pick it up, right? So that can be it. Who else we have on the show? Bavarian. She's an official member of the YouTube channel. So thank you, Bavarian. And she says hello. Long time watcher of the channel and on Comic Frontline as well. Scoundrel's like, oh, at least DC is coming out, LOL, and Marvel. I got to read Batman and the Red Hood. I think I'm going to read that next, LOL. Okay, that's cool. And Bavarian says Daredevil is on issue 19. So thank you for that. So I guess I'm assuming then issue 20 will be the jumping on point. So that's good to know. And she also says 3 paperbacks are available. See, this is perfect. Thank you, Bavarian, for all the help. And now you just made my job that much easier. I don't have to go typing on my phone looking for all this stuff. And I'll check it out. Probably the trades are probably got to be at least $20 or something like that. But I'll definitely check it out. I'll probably go to the shop next week, at least buy the first one and get caught up. I would love to read it. You know, I should have thought of that yesterday and I just didn't. But I wound up getting a lot of back issues, like Daredevil back issues. A few of those right here. If you guys didn't see my comic book haul yesterday, these are some of the books that I wound up getting yesterday. Daredevil, Black Widow, issue 99. Daredevil and the Black Widow, issue 103. Wound up getting Daredevil issue 108 with the Beetle on it. I have this one. I'm trying to put my Daredevil books together. I don't have much of the old series, but I have Daredevil issue 181. I think this was the first death of Elektra, of many deaths. So I have that book, and that book's in really good shape. And then I have this giant-sized Daredevil with, like, Stiltman on it. So I have that one, too. So I don't have that much Daredevil. I just never decided to dive into the series, and people are kind of like, yeah, Mike, what's wrong with you? You have a problem. You don't read Daredevil. I don't know why. You know, and I should, because there's a lot of interaction with him on Spider-Man and all kinds of other stuff right there. Robotech says, speaking of trades, what did you think of the X-Men Gold Loves Man Kills? That's awesome. Because I posted it on the community page that I finally read it. And I thought it was hilarious that I even had it and I didn't even realize it. And it was mentioned on this podcast. I thought it was good. Obviously, it's dated, but I thought this story was really well done. I thought William Stryker was awesome. I loved seeing his kind of like his origin story on like where he came from and what his cause is. And it was pretty sad, actually, how his wife got into a car accident, or him and his wife got into a car accident, and his wife was expecting. And Yeah, he had to deliver the baby, and the baby was a mutant, and it was deformed. And so I'm not going to tell you any rest, but that's kind of why he has this thing against mutants. He looks at them as like part of the devil, and you get to see his cause on why he hates mutants and why he thinks they should be destroyed. And it was quite interesting book. I really enjoyed it. The art is dark, gritty, very street level. And I did enjoy it. I would love to see what this new version of the story is going to be like what they change in the artwork or the deleted pages from it or whatever the case may be, because when that one comes out, I'm going to do a before and an after video of those two books, like what's different about the story and things like that. But I really enjoyed it. And the book is for mature readers. There's some racial slurs in that book that you couldn't get away with in today's comics. I don't know how that was, the words and the terminology that was used in that book, like passed, right? And there were some curse words. There was pretty violent scenes in that book too. And Kitty Pryde played a major role in that book, which was interesting. She went by the name of Ariel at the time, and she was wearing this green and yellow costume. It was just weird, man. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was great stuff. So definitely different. Smoke Ghost says, "What's up, Mike? How you doing?" Scoundrel Gaming says, "Did you guys see Sony Pictures' real name for its Spider-Man character's short name of it Spunk Spider-Man universe of characters? Sony Pictures can't quite make out what that says." Grab 19 if you can. It's part 1 of 2. Good to know. Thank you. Oh, correction. Only 2 paperbacks are available. Hey, man, it gets better and better. It's cheaper, right? Let's see what we got. Scoundrel says, "Did you know, Mike, that Paramount is doing a Hasbro Filmverse? They're going to have Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, Transformers are the Transformer comics." I did know that coming out with a Transformers movie. We discussed it on Comic Book Weekly with the Frontline crew, and it's animated. I don't know about the other ones, though. So is there any good comic book run for Justice League Dark? I don't read Justice League Dark. I'm just not into the supernatural that much. So yeah, I'm kind of not into it all that much. So I couldn't give you any recommendations there. All right. So guys that have been tuning in last week, you've been watching the comic book collection as we discuss certain things. Let me take this off. You guys know that you can become a member. All right. And let's go see what else that we haven't shown in this box. So you guys like old stuff. How about the Human Fly from 1977? This is issue 1 of that series. Isn't that wild, man? I'm like, I don't even know what this is about. I probably got it for a good price, and I'm like, okay, it's number 1. It's from the 70s. Let's get some Human Fly issue 1. I don't even know why I have this book, but that's a pretty interesting cover. It's the first Fantastic issue, so that's pretty cool, I guess. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Not too old, but this is a pretty cool one by Brad Meltzer. This is Identity Crisis issue 1. This is the comic, the first issue of it. Obviously, we've had a trade in this, but this is Deadly Secrets, Private Hells. The DC Comics event of the year begins right here. So that's cool. All right, so let's see what else we have. This is one that's kind of cool. This is the Fantastic Four, Marvel's greatest comic. So this is issue 64, The Menace of Maximus the Mad. So this is an old school book, as you have the Inhumans on there with the Fantastic Four. Really cool cover, though. I like how Reed's kind of reaching out at the reader as he's using his elastic powers. Can't talk, so that's cool. And the thing is, like, just give the word Reed and it's clobbering time, right? That's cool. I love the old like circle boxes or circle boxes. That doesn't make any sense. What's a circle box? The circles and the heroes inside. Man, oh man. I couldn't be a professional broadcaster, right? As I don't make sense when I talk. Let's talk about another Marvel team up featuring Spider-Man and the Invincible Iron Man with another circle box. And we have Spidey and Iron Man there. That's cool how they're kind of teaming up and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's cool, man. I like how they're kind of coming through here. I don't know where they're going. But, yeah, that's a nice looking book as well. So that's issue 9 of the Marvel team up situation there. Let's see. What else we got in here? I've had this book forever. I think this is one of the books that I had from like when me and my grandmother went to the flea market and there was like people selling random comics there when I was like really young. And I was just like, oh, I'll buy this one. And I was like, I like the robot guy. I was really into robots when I was a kid because of Transformers. This Transformers around in that mid 80s, early 80s. And it was just like anything that was a robot. I was like, yeah, man, that's cool. And he's fighting Spider-Man. I'm like, that's awesome. Right. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. What else we got here? We'll do another one. This is another one I probably got from the same freaking person. This is old as can be, man. Marvel Team Up, issue 129. He teams up with the Vision in this one. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Very, not an overly complex cover here. Just the face, Vision, some words, and there you go. There's your comic book, right? All right, next. This one's awesome. Another reprint. Obviously, you would think, oh my God, the death of Gwen Stacy. You have it, Mike. Nope, just kidding. Just a reprint. So that's awesome cover just in itself to have it, right? Issue 99. It's like, oh man, I thought you had that one, Mike. Nope, unfortunately not. But it's cool. It's cool just to have. All right. All right, so let's talk about some news a little bit. And I want to appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know a lot of us are busy doing other things, trying to work, trying to have a life besides sitting inside, right? So we're going to talk about this topic right here. Marvel releases digital comics May 13th and 20th before the physical copies are released. Now, I personally don't like when a company does this because you get people that will buy those copies, right? Those digital copies, and it's 3 weeks before the physical copy comes out. And if you don't buy it, those people, obviously, you can't discuss about the stories, right? And I just don't like that. And I kind of understand why they're doing it at the flip side of things, because it's like these are miniseries, most of them, and it's like they kind of just want to release them now so they're not behind in releasing other books. And they're just like, well, you can buy the physical ones later, I guess, right? So then this way they can release future issues of those stories without being delayed. So I kind of understand why they're doing it. I just don't like when they do that. That's a personal preference of mine. But what we're going to do is I think I'm going to see if I can find the actual site on where it's at with the I'll go on my phone and find out what we have here for those books. So we have May 13th is the first set of books that are coming out. And like I said, most of these are mini series. Okay. But then there's like one that's not. So the first thing you got is Ant-Man issue 4. That one's being released on May 13th. That book is a mini series, and it's okay. It's kind of like a Saturday morning cartoon for me. And being that the book hasn't come out in a while, I just, even when it comes out physically, I'm probably just not going to buy it and continue the story. It's not worth the $4 for me, and it's kind of lost its momentum. Like I just don't care about it anymore. The next one is Avengers of Wastelands issue 4. Out of all these books here that are going to be mentioned, this is my favorite. Scoundrel Gaming was talking about if there is a series that you would recommend. This is one of them. If you read Old Man Logan, the original trade paperback, this is one of those stories that connects to it. And this book has been phenomenal because this takes place in the Wastelands, and we have the Avengers of this universe. And it's like Danny Cage's we have Luke Cage's daughter, Danny Cage. She's like the new Thor. We have Bruce Banner's son as like the Hulk. We have a random guy that's like Ant-Man. We have a ex-Hydra agent that's like the Captain America that worked for Doom or whatnot. So it's a really good book, and I definitely recommend it. So I'm upset that this one's coming out digitally first, because I'm gonna have to try to avoid spoilers for like 3 weeks before this one actually comes out physically. So, but this is a good book. The next one is an ongoing book, and this is Ghost Fighter issue 9. This is another really well done book, and I don't know why we got to release this one digitally first, especially if it's an ongoing. Like, just have it be behind a little bit, right? So I don't know, why, but it is. And same thing, I'm going to have to wait a few weeks because I read this one. Ravencroft, I personally don't read that one. This is a mini series. This has to do with, I guess, the whole Carnage situation, Absolute Carnage thing. So that one is being released digitally as well. Again, on May 13th, if you guys are interested in those digital books. Me, I'm not. That's my personal preference. I've always been that way. You guys know that. I believe in digital comics after release, and if you want to make them cheaper, that's fine. That's kind of like what Marvel Unlimited is, right? You pay a fee and then you just get a whole library of books. That I don't mind. All right, so now let's go on to May 20th, okay? So we have 2020 Ironheart issue 1. I'm not reading that. Anything that has to do with freaking 2020 Iron Man, it's done. It's out of my brain. So I don't care about that one. In fact, they can release all the Marvel 2020 books at one time. Just get rid of the series and be done with it and move on with the new creative team with Iron Man. That's what I would want. Next is Marvel's Spider-Man, The Black Cat Strikes issue 4. Another series that you might be interested in. It's that one. Go back, pick up issues 1 through 3. I love the way Felicia is written in this series. She is beautifully written. I love the way she seduces Peter in here. And then I love their relationship and how they work together as a team in here. And there's that good love triangle between her, Mary Jane, and Peter. So this is definitely recommended on my book if you're a Spider-Man fan, Black Cat fan, and the artwork is gorgeous in it too. So I'll be disappointed when this one comes out and I have to wait physically to read this one. The next one is Hawkeye Freefall, issue 5. I know a lot of people have been reading that one, saying that one's been pretty good. Kind of just don't look too seriously into it, and you'll have fun with it. So I definitely recommend that one for readers, especially if you're a Hawkeye fan. I think stopped reading it after one because I felt like, what do I need to read this for? I read so much other stuff. I don't need to read another mini series. So that is one that I did not pick up. All right, so let's see. And then we have another one, and that one is Star issue 4. When it comes to Star issue 4, I am enjoying that series by Kelly Thompson. I think it's been pretty good. I thought at first it was stupid, right? Because she's like, oh, I have the reality stone, and she's like trying to control people's minds with it, and she's like totally clueless on the whole situation. And I'm just like, this is dumb. But she's new to the power. She has to figure out how the stone actually works. And so the book has been getting better as time has been going on. So I'm enjoying it. It's one of those ones where, a lot of people I think are kind of leaving it behind, but I personally enjoy that particular book. So those are the digital books that are being released. I'm so curious to see what your guys' opinions are on this. Do you agree with this, for the sake of Marvel catching up? So it's like they can release the next issue of something quicker. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what your comments say. I got a lot of comments here. And I want to thank all the viewers that are on the show right now. Thank you so much, guys. Let's see. Vision looks like a beast. Let's see. We got Human Fly. So let's see. All right, I think this is where we're at. Scoundrel is like laughing. He's like, okay. And he's questioning Human Fly. Another question about the Green Lantern situation. Is Green Lantern any good comic? Is Green Lantern any good comic books? I really enjoy animated films. Green Lantern, I would recommend reading Robert Venditti's run, and I think it was pretty good. Jeff Johns' run was really good. That was during the New 52 and before the New 52, like Blackest Night. That's what I would recommend. Right now, unless you're a fan of Grant Morrison, I wouldn't recommend Green Lantern right now. All right, so he says he's going all over the place. Sorry. No worries. Just try not to overwhelm the chat so the others can actually chat in there also. Scoundrel's like, Vision looks like a beast. And I don't like digital entertainment. Okay, and then we have Robotech says, I think Marvel is going about it the wrong way. I just can't see most of the readers jump to digital to keep up with some current books. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I'm not going to pay $4 for a digital book, even though it's released early. But then what if your friend can't buy that digital book right now? And he says, or he or she says, I want to wait for the physical book. And then you can't talk about it with your friend. And that's kind of what happens here with these books, like Avengers Wastelands. Say, Barbarian, she picks up a copy of that book and she's like, oh, Mike, this book was awesome. And she's like, wait a second, but you can't read it, right? You're not reading it. You're not reading it digitally, right? No, I got to wait another 3 weeks. And so that just ruins the momentum of the book for me. So that's how I really feel about it, right? And then Barbarian does say, I don't like the fans being split, but I understand everyone's needs to work and get paid. I can live with that if it keeps people employed. You make a good point there. Muhammad says, thank goodness for new comics. Morning from Malaysia. That's awesome. Good morning. That's a far distance, boy. Yeah, no worries, Scoundrel. I totally understand. I want you to chat. Just don't overwhelm the chat so I can see everyone else's comments on here. Mr. Vic says, it would work if the price is set at 99 cents, but only a very few people will pay full price same day for digital. See, that's when I think like digital comics would take over the physical market. Me and the rest of the Comic Book Weekly crew that the show that I do at nighttime on Tuesday nights, have talked about that too. If you make digital comics at 99 cents, you could see physical comics go away, because there's got to be an incentive. You can't make it cheaper because it'll put those comic shops out. If someone says I can read a story for 99 cents, they'll sacrifice the physical book, So that's why they don't make it cheaper. They only make it cheaper after the fact. Scoundrel says, looks like I'm reading Ghost Spider. Mr. Frick says, really all comics on digital are too expensive. See, during this whole pandemic, though, if you go on to Marvel Unlimited and some other digital platforms, you can actually see that there's books on there to read for free, like a whole run of stories and things like that. So it's like, if they can make it for free, they can make it cheaper. They don't have to charge so much for it. Muhammad's like, why you don't like the Iron Man 2020 event? I just don't. I just, for me, it's just a little cheesy. I don't like Dan Slott's Iron Man run. It's just something that I don't enjoy. I just found it boring, uneventful, AI taking over the world type of thing. Like, I don't know. I just don't like it. It's just not my thing. Dan Slott's run on Iron Man is not for me. Nothing against the man. I had to read him during the whole Spider-Man run, right? And Iron Man is my second favorite Marvel character. And I have a whole box of Iron Man from early days. I have more recent stuff. And I'll go back to it and I'll say Matt Fraction's run on Iron Man was really, really good. That is an awesome, serious tones, well-written, artwork is out of this world type of book. When it came to Iron Man with this supporting cast and Jocasta and everything else that's attached to it, it's just not for me. It was like almost like Peter Parker again all over, except with Iron Man, because it's just like he's got tech, he's got this big company, he had this virtual thing going on with this mask. It's been a while since I read the series. I read issues 1 and 2 of Iron Man 2020. It just wasn't for me. I just did not like it. And if you enjoy it, that's great. But I just want someone else different on the Iron Man title. And we're going to get it soon. So we'll see. Scoundrel says, I've read Ironheart a lot. It's great. I like it a lot. Okay, cool. Chevy goes, I agree. I love Peter and Mary Jane. Salvatore's like, pizza time. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle talk going on here. He says, I'm just like, I wish I was Spider-Man sometimes. Tevi is like, I don't care about Star. Well, some people do, though. And I think her story is pretty cool. Let's see. I wonder if Mike has Marvel and DC posters around his house. LOL, I know I would have it. The only place I have all this stuff is right here in this garage where I do this stream and where I do my videos. It's the only place I have all this stuff. So everything that you see here and everything that's down over where I keep all my comics, that's all my posters and things that I have. I constantly rotate this stuff behind me from preview magazines. Like the other day, I actually... Let me get rid of this so you guys can see, if you can see it. Changed a few of these out. So I put like the newest issue of Mortal Hulk, the newest issue of Black Cat here, got the newest issue of Venom right here, so I change all that stuff out every once in a while. Let's see what else you guys got here. Tevia, let's see. She's a villain and a jerk. So we're talking about Star. Oh, boy. Do I think that... I don't think Slott needs to retire. That's not what needs to happen. I just think he needs to find a character that's right for him, man, or maybe do some independent stuff. Again, I talked about this with the crew the other day when it comes to Dan Slott. I loved his... I actually really enjoyed Superior Spider-Man. I thought it was different, unique. It brought, a guy that was once good. They made him bad and flipped his life upside down. I thought that was very inventive. When he was done with Superior, he just should have left at that point and had someone else take over the book. All right, what do we got here? Robotech said something about Dan Slott needs to read, and then he goes, same with Bendis. Mr. Vic says the best 2020 was his appearance in The Machine Man. Okay. Let's see. What else we got here? All right. So we got Muhammad says, so you're happy to know that Dan Slott is leaving Iron Man. Do you feel that he's not a good writer overall? Will this change make the next Iron Man comic looking better? Yeah, I knew that he was leaving Iron Man. I did like that. And no, I don't think he's not a good writer either. I think he's a decent writer, but I think certain writers just got to find the right characters for them, you know? And I feel like once you tell a story, that story needs to end. Don't keep dragging it out, right? Even Robert Kirkman, when he was writing The Walking Dead, he said his story went up to 100, and after the whole Negan thing. And due to the popularity of the book, he kind of kept going with it. But his intention was really 100, and that's where his story ended. So sometimes when you drag out stories too long, you know, it tends to bring down the quality of the book. And I just think that, you know, maybe Dan Slott just doesn't have anything else to say when it comes to Iron Man. When it came to Spider-Man, I just think purposely he was on the book too long, and he was very greedy about the character and didn't want to let it go. Some people tell me his Fantastic Four run is actually pretty good. So again, it's all opinionated. Everyone has their thoughts. I don't personally read the Fantastic Four book myself also. So but again, that's just me. So I think maybe he doesn't need to be on flagship books. Just bring him down a notch and see what he can do with lesser characters, right? Let's see. Mr. Vic, do you have a hidden stash of comics in the house? A lot of times I have comic books that are here and I bring them in the house, and they'll be in the house for months. Before I moved, I actually had a drawer, a nightstand that had comics in there, and I forgot that they were in there. They must have been in there for a couple of years, and I pulled them out, and I'm like, holy shit, I got all these comic books in there. And one of them was Amazing Spider-Man, the first appearance of Carnage. Not the first appearance, where he makes his first full appearance, right? And I was like, oh my God, why is this on here? I think I actually made a video on it. There was like Green Lantern books in there, and I like totally forgot all those books existed in there. So funny. Scoundrel says, all right, I got 2 more minutes. I miss chatting with this channel. Hey, Scoundrel, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining and chatting. I love the enthusiasm and the excitement, and I appreciate all you guys watching as well. You guys are awesome. Slott did an okay Surfer, so he can stay on that character. Now, see, same thing. Like, I guess he's just not the writer for me, because I did not enjoy that version of Surfer, and I did not enjoy Allred's artwork on the character either. I read a couple issues for it, you know, when it came to that series, and I wasn't a fan. I really liked that old, I guess, 90s series. I love that artwork, that style, that time during the Infinity Gauntlet. That's the Surfer that I've always enjoyed. So that's what I'm used to. And I think, you know, when I read the Thanos book from Donny Gates, and you saw like Silver Surfer Black in there, and I thought that was really well done. And I even read Silver Surfer Black. And even though the artwork, it was kind of similar and trippy like Allred's work, that story was really well done also. So, but if you like that version of Surfer, that's cool, man. Scoundrel says, let you know about my thoughts on Batman and the Red Hood comic. Cool. All right. So let's see. Tevia says, maybe Slott needs to write something. He likes to write same like Bendis, both writers. I know. We'll see what he does, right? We'll see what happens. All right. So before we get into DC, I will show you a few more of my books, and then we'll go on and we'll discuss some of those DC titles. All right. I don't know how this got in here. I got multiple copies of issue 6 of Infinity Gauntlet. So I have Infinity Gauntlet issue 6 in there. So I don't know why they're not with the other ones. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. So yeah, Infinity Gauntlet issue 6. All right. And who knows? I mean, probably most of us have that book, right? This is a cool one. This one's in good shape too. Maybe it's in okay shape. Marvel Superheroes featuring Iron Man and Daredevil. This is issue 28. Trying to see if there's a date or a year on this one, but 25-cent cover. This looks like a 60s book to me. Maybe early 70s. So that's really cool. Yeah, nice stuff right there. Again, a lot of these books I get at my comic shop for like dirt cheap price, man. And they're bagged and board and everything. Marvel Superheroes featuring the Hulk and Submariner. This is issue 52. We got those circle boxes going again. Boom, boom. I like how Hulk is smashes everything right there. It's pretty cool. All right. Let's see what else we got. Marvel Superheroes featuring the Incredible Hulk, issue 64. Umbu? Is it Umbo? Umbu? Umbu? The Unliving? Umbo. I don't know. It's like umbrella, but bow. Ba. Umba. People are watching this going, what is wrong with this guy? Marvel's Greatest Comics, issue 42. Featuring the Peerless Power. Speaking of the Silver Surfer. This is an old book, man. It's got like a price tag on the thing over there. It's got the Human Torch. This book is rough, boy. Whew. Nice. It's cool, though. Again, sometimes just owning these older books is just so much fun to have. That's what I love about this hobby. Just going out there, finding this stuff, you know. You collect comics for years and years and years and years, and it's like, wow, I've never seen this book before. So it's like a book that's 30, 40, 50 years old, and you're seeing it for the first time, not even knowing that exists. And that's what's so fun about the hobby. Marvel Superheroes featuring the Incredible Hulk. This is issue 83. So we got that right there. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, this is pretty cool. You got Marvel team up Spider-Man and the Human Torch with the Speed Demon, right? And he's going like so fast. He put out Johnny Storm's like Blaze. That's pretty cool. So we got that one on there too. Let's see what else we got. I don't know. Is this one worth any money? This particular one? The Marvel Milestone Edition. Strangest superheroes of them all. It's the X-Men. It's a reprint of the first X-Men. I got this like in the 90s. So I'm not sure what the value of this book is, if anything. At the time, I paid $2.95 for this. So if you guys have any idea if this has any value to it, just let me know in the comments below. It's an old reprint. All right. And we got this old Marvel team up. Check out this cover, man, with Nick Fury and Spider-Man. That's insane right there, too. Love that, though. It's classic. All right. And then, what is this? Oh, this one's pretty cool. Incredible Hulk and Wolverine. Representing the first appearance of Wolverine. So this is a 25th anniversary edition of this particular first appearance of Wolverine. I totally forgot I even had this. I paid $2 on the cover price of it. Not sure if this is worth anything either. it's funny. I get lost in all this stuff. Like, I don't even remember what I have. And then I pull it out to show you guys. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Look at this. Marvel Comics and the Electric Company presents Spidey. This is issue 1. So that's pretty cool. And then I have this flashback untold of Spider-Man issue 1. Look at that one there too. Really wild stuff. God, man. All right. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Ooh, here's one I wanted to show you guys today. I found today in the box. This was in my X-Men box as I was reorganizing some of my X books because I got some old X Factor comics, and I have this X Factor issue 6. This is the first appearance of Apocalypse, as we know that. Probably one of the only few books from this series that's worth actual money. And this book is in really, really good shape. So I got this from my shop from a while ago that I remember. So really cool. Definitely got to hold on to that one, right? All right. So let's go into some comments, and then we'll go into the DC books. All right. Let's see what we got to say. Tevia says, hey, heck, Scott Lobdell's been a Red Hood Jason Todd for way too long. He has been on there for quite a while. Scoundrels goes, people are saying Shia LaBeouf might be Moon Knight in the MCU. Yeah, I did hear about that. That's for sure. Let's see. I should work. Hey, Mike, you should work with Disney, LOL. Make lots of money. Yeah, I wish. Robotech says some of those bags look like they need to be replaced. You ain't kidding, boy. I just got to stock up on some bags and boards and just redo them. Because some of these books in here are pretty old. Scoundrel says, I'm going to start, I guess I can't read that word, more Marvel comics so I could work with Kevin Feige. Let's see what else we got. And Neil Jackson on the show and says, hi, Mike. I love reading the classics of Spider-Man on Marvel Unlimited app. So again, that's what's so good about like the Marvel Unlimited books, right? I mean, I think that one is kind of cool because you can go back and you can read anything you want. So I feel like for reading back issues and stuff like that, I feel like that's what the digital market is needed. I believe in that. Okay. All right. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk DC Comics. You guys know that I am the hugest Marvel fan there is. It's just because what I grew up to reading, right? And Spider-Man's my favorite character. And I don't read that many DC books. It wasn't until the New 52 came out until I really started reading DC. Green Lantern in the 90s, Kyle Rayner was the only DC character I ever read in that time period. And it wasn't until until right before the New 52, when Jeff Johns started writing Green Lantern and did the Blackest Night, is when I got into that version of Green Lantern. And then the New 52 launched. And I'm like, now's my time to jump on DC Comics. So I'm not as knowledgeable. I'm not rich in history with all these characters. But I thought when the New 52 was released, I thought it was a great idea. I read every single book when it first came out, and then I fell off a lot of them because the storytelling was poor. And then when Rebirth came out, same thing. I read so much stuff, and then that kind of went off the rails a little bit. So I'm only knowledgeable of kind of what's going on with the modern day version of these characters. Okay. So we're going to talk about what's being released in June, and they came out with a schedule week by week. Again, this is subject to change, right? We went over this last week of what was coming out for Marvel, and they're changed. So let's see, as of this week, here is DC's schedule. For June 2nd, we have Action Comics issue 1022. Now, based off of some of your guys' comments in here, I definitely understand your frustration with Bendis, right? Maybe one day we'll get somebody else, but for right now, that's what we're going to have. Okay. Now hold on. I got one more comment. I want to answer this before I go too deep into this. Revival. Oh yeah, made it to the live stream. Nice, welcome. And he goes, "Did you end up reading Monstrous yet?" Yes, I did, and I actually did a review on Monstrous on what I thought of it. It is definitely not my. It was. I think it's a beautifully drawn book. I loved it that way. I think the story is interesting, but it just wasn't for me. There's just too many layers to that particular story, and it's very political, and it threw a lot of characters and a lot of these different races, and you were kind of expected to know all this. And from what I heard, it's definitely a story that pays to its readers the longer you read it. So I think it's probably a good read, but it's just not for me. So that's my thought on that real quick before we get further down the line here. Okay. So I'm going to pause this comment right now, and then we're going to go on talking about the June 2nd books. Next, Batman Superman issue 9. When it comes to that particular book, I actually liked the first story arc when it came to the infected storyline. But I don't know if I'm going to be reading it anymore. Because, again, it's been a long time. Birds of Prey issue 1. Okay. How good is this book going to be? It was delayed for weeks. Why was it so delayed? So now we're finally getting its release on June 2nd. I think this book was supposed to come out like in freaking February or something like that. So now it's finally coming out. Catwoman issue 22. I don't know anybody who's reading Catwoman. No one talks about it. And the only reason why I collected it was for the Artgerm variants at the time. Never read it. So I can't have anything to say about that. Again, we're talking about June 2nd's books. The book I will be getting is the Catwoman 80th Anniversary Spectacular, only because of covers. I think some of the covers on that book are going to be absolutely gorgeous. And there's probably a story that's going to tie into the whole Batman Catwoman storyline. So I can look forward to that. Detective Comics issue 1022. Not reading that run as of right now, but I am reading the regular Batman book. Event Leviathan Checkmate issue 1. Not for me. Far Sector issue 6. Bendis book. That version of a Green Lantern, just not for me either. John Constantine, again, supernatural stuff. I told you guys earlier, not my cup of tea. Okay. Justice League Dark 22, same thing. Not going to read that one. The Last God source book. Tales from the Book of Ages issue 1. I have no idea what that is. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Issue 104. That book is still out? How is that even possible? I thought that book was ending. I thought it ended already. I had no idea they're still making it. Next, Shazam issue 12. I was on board with this book, but being that it was plagued with delays, I had to stop reading it. And I just don't even know what it's about anymore. I heard there's a new writer taking it over. So if there's a new writer taking it over, or maybe the new writer took over at this point, maybe I'll pick it up. Maybe it's a new story arc, right? Swamp Thing Giant, issue 4. And then Wonder Woman, issue 756. Wonder Woman's gone through so many writers that I don't know even what to think or where to begin with that book right now. So there you go. There are the books for June 2nd. I'll take you guys' comments, and then then we'll go on to the next week's of books. So we'll go here back to Muhammad, who said, I think my internet's running slow, so I apologize. The one not so good thing, as I mentioned on yesterday's comic Frontline, where you were there, I am sad that Outlawed Event Comics got delayed to God knows when. Looking forward to Power Pack, man. you and Kat. Kat loves Power Pack, and she's looking forward to that book. I'm interested to see how that story pans out, because you got introduced to the first issue. You got to see how the kids wound up getting outlawed, and now the story's gotten delayed. And I'm just curious to see the other books that spawn from that. So we'll see what happens with that event. We'll get it eventually. It's not being canceled. It's definitely coming out. It's already made, so we'll see what happens. Revival says, yes, agree. Artwork looks amazing. Yeah, world building takes forever, I heard, but I'll end up giving it a try. Definitely give it a try. It might be your thing, just a lot to get into. I just was overwhelmed trying to read. It's a book that you might have to go back multiple times to catch it, because that's what I did with it. And sometimes stories like that, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit slow, and it takes me sometimes to comprehend what's going on. I'll admit it, I'm slow. Next, Muhammad says, do you see that the Outlawed Event comics will be delayed due to the end of July, since it's not the recent updated schedule for Marvel Comics till early July? Yeah, it's going to get pushed back to July. It's going to be at least mid to late July until we probably see Outlawed again. It's going to be like a summer event. Let's see what we have here. Revival says 80th cover looks dope. Oh, are we talking about Catwoman? All right. I'm probably not going to click on the comments because my internet seems like it's running real slow. Tevia has a bunch of comments on here, so I'm just going to name a couple of them. Action Comics has been bad. Okay, that's fine. Shazam is still great. Let's see. Tevia, I am done with Marvel. Yeah, we know. Tevia does not like Marvel events. So I know there's a lot of Marvel fatigue on there. So again, if you don't want to read Marvel events, just don't read it, Tevia. Just move on. All right. Okay. So next thing, we're going to go on to the next set of books. This goes into, let's see, Tuesday, June 9th. All right, here's a good one for you. Amethyst, issue 3. Anybody picking up Amethyst? Anybody? Just raise your hands. I'm curious to see how many people are not picking up Amethyst. And if you're not, I would just love to see all the no's in the chat. I would love to see that. Batman issue 92. There you have it. June 9th is the release of a book that we have been waiting for forever, right? Issue 92 of Batman. Why did that not come out earlier? It was slotted to come out earlier, right? And now they changed it to June 9th, which is disappointing. Next, Batman Secret Files, issue 3. Batman, The Adventures Continue, issue 1. Why do we need to have all the Batman books come out in 1 week? DC Classics, The Batman Adventures, issue 1. Doom Patrol, Weight of the Worlds. Flash fans, you have issue 755 coming out. Harley Quinn, issue 73. The Joker, this might be a good 80th anniversary. This could be a book that sells a pretty decent amount of copies. And I can see that the covers for this one are probably really good. So Joker's 80th anniversary, right? 100-page super spectacular. Justice League issue 46, which I'm really enjoying. Justice League. It's a shame that Vendetti's got to leave that book. Justice League Odyssey, Legion of Superheroes. No, thank you. Lois Lane. I heard people do enjoy this one, but then there's other people that really do not like this one either. Nightwing issue 71. My gosh. The Road to Joker War. Issue 70 was not my favorite book in the world. Let's say that by being nice. Okay. That was a rough book. Oh my gosh. And that book, people were freaking out over that book. Like it was selling for like $20, $30, $35 on eBay. And then the coronavirus happened and then it's just not worth anything. And then you got Superman Giant issue 3. So those are your slate of books. So let's see what we got on here. So I mentioned the comment about how many of you are reading Amethyst out there. And I said, raise your hand if you are not reading it, because I want to know how many people are not. Or there's another one, Grumpy out there said, or Crumby says, who wants to admit that they are reading it? So let's see. We got Tevia, who's not reading it. We got Revival, who's not reading it. Probably won't. Daniel says no. Johnny's like no to, or John says no. Peter Barker joins the show. Welcome, Peter. Glad you're on. He's like, I just got here. He's been working late. Tevia's like, no, I'm not reading that book. Let's see. Robotech's like, I'm not either. Grumpy says, Nightwing, totally rough. You're so right. Robotech, yeah, that series was good, and her New 52 run was good. Let's see. Batman. Let's see if the comments are popping up better now. No, it's coming up so slow on my end. Batman number 92. At last. No, I don't read Amethyst. Debbie goes, when will Rick Grayson end already? Yeah, tell me about it. That's another rough book there. All right. So funny to hear all you guys about Amethyst, right? How long do you guys give Amethyst before that book is done? Or should they even just slowly put it to the side and be like, yeah, next issue's not coming out, right? All right, let's see what we got here. June 16th, Aquaman Giant. Batman and the Outsiders, issue 13. That was supposed to be released like in May, wasn't it? Now we got pushed back almost a month. Detective Comics, once again, issue 475. It's kind of like DC is the one just releasing everything, where Marvel was like, yeah, we'll take a slow approach. And DC's like, nope, we're going all out now. So they're trying to, I guess, get a hold of that market share, right? The Flash Annual, issue 3. Green Lantern, season 2, issue 4. Hawkman, issue 24. Mad Magazine, issue 14. Metal Men, issue 7. Nightwing Annual, another Nightwing book. Let's see. We got Superman, issue 22. Wonder Woman, issue 757. And Young Justice, issue 15, another Michael Bendis spectacular. The book probably would not be a bad book if there wasn't so many characters in it. I jumped on and off Young Justice probably about 3 or 4 separate times. I am a person that wants that book to succeed. Every time I read it, I'm so disappointed by it. Just doesn't need to be so many characters. You know what book needs to come out that I really loved was Sideways. I thought that book was great, and it ended. And I think Sideways made his appearance on Young Justice recently, and I don't know what's going to happen with that character, but I really enjoy that particular character. All right, so next we have Tuesday, June 23rd, Aquaman issue 60. Are we still dealing with Aqua Baby here? Maybe, probably. Batgirl issue 46. Batman issue 93. Batman, the Smile Killer. Batman Beyond, issue 44. There's a little too much Batman, I think. I really do think so. My gosh. Books of Magic, issue 20. Another Flash book, issue 756. Here's another 80th anniversary that I'll probably pick up. Green Lantern. My favorite DC superhero is Green Lantern, so I got to pick up a super spectacular from that one. At least one. Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, issue 2. It'll be curious to see what you guys think of that first issue now that it's finally going to be released. You got John Constantine, Hellblazer, issue 7. The Justice League, issue 47. Justice League Dark. So we're already on second issues here of a lot of these books. The Lolo Woods, so Joe Hill Comics, Plunge issue 4. Speaking of Red Hood, we got Red Hood Outlaw issue 46. Suicide Squad. Now, there's a DC book that I enjoy. That book is awesome. Tom Taylor is the writer. We have Harley Quinn, we got Deadshot, and then they got a bunch of new characters, and they have like this hidden agenda. There's someone that kicked out Amanda Waller that's in charge of the Suicide Squad. That book is good. There's a book I can recommend to you, and hopefully it's not too late to jump on board. Maybe you can find some back issues on there. Guys, definitely pick it up. Definitely. Superman's Pal, Jimmy Olsen, issue 11. And another book that I've been reading since issue 20 is Teen Titans issue 42, which is really well done. But I don't know if that's a perfect time to jump on, as I think it's still in a current story arc. All right, let's see. We got a few comments on here. Who's getting New Warriors? I am. Yeah, Mr. Vic. I'm actually getting New Warriors. I read the old series when I was younger, and New Warriors was all about being diverse, and this is kind of the same thing. I'm really picking it up for the older characters, and I'm curious to see what these new characters have to offer. I did see the trailer for this. I get why people are kind of like, give it a try. If you don't like the first issue, you don't have to read it. I'm going to try it. It just the way I am, you know. My curiosity is because it's nostalgia here. Okay, next is, let's see what Robotex is. I give it 12 issues, and they will pull a Marvel and reboot it. Let's see what else we got. Muhammad, I'm so happy that Ironheart at last is on discussion for a Disney Plus series. Looking forward to seeing that. One problem, whatever happened to the Power Pack Disney Plus show plans? Oh, I have no idea. I haven't heard any of that. I thought Mad Magazine got canceled. Same thing, too. I thought that, too, Devia. Sideways Woods and Young Justice. Yep, I mentioned that. Also, the Ironheart series on discussion makes me hope that the Champions will enter the MCU. Problem is, Miles Morales is Sony property. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. We'll see. I would like to see the Champions in there. Peter's like, you can never have enough Batman, Mike. And Robotech says they shouldn't have. I lost the. Where'd it go? There you go. They shouldn't have given him the question and then build up from there. Okay. That Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey Black Label, if I can remember right, the interiors were horrible, but great cover art. I seem to remember you giving your copy away. Yes. That's the Black Label one. We're talking about the regular universe one that's coming out. I'm pretty sure. Maybe. I don't know. Yes, I did give away my copy of it. I felt that it deserved to go to a good home. Okay. And the New Warriors got ratio down to oblivion. I love the New Warriors from back in the day, have most of their run. Yeah, I just go with Detective and Batman every single month. I'm curious about New Warriors. I want to find a New Warriors like omnibus or back issues of it, and I can't seem to ever find either one. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. Let's see where we got here. So June 30th, last slate of books here. Batman, The Adventures Continue, issue 2. DC Classics, The Batman Adventures, issue 2. That's so similar in title. I was like tripping. Deceased Dead Planet, issue 1. So is this the new? This is the new Deceased title. I'm on board with that one. That's really good. I love Deceased. So well done. Again, Tom Taylor, he's a great writer. He knows how to write characters with great emotion. His alternate storylines are so wonderfully done. Definitely recommend that one. We got Event Leviathan, Checkmate issue 2. Harley Quinn issue 74. Justice League issue 48. And then we got that Lois Lane issue 12, the series finale. So, and that's what we have for the new comics for DC of that day. So let's see what we have here. Aggressively Relaxing's on the show. New Warriors is part of the Outlawed story, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Cool. And then Revival says, yeah, I'm like Deceased. I'm liking Deceased. It's good. Totally on board with Deceased, especially with the covers. Yeah, I agree with that. The covers are so well done. Tevia likes Deceased as well. It's so good, man. I love it. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple more books, I think. And then we're going to call it a day. So let's see what we got here. You guys like Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? We got a couple of those ones. We got issue 8 of that series. And then we have issue 9 of that series as well. It's like the Ku Klux Klan guy there, man. That's what he looks like there. It's weird stuff right there. So, yeah, we got that. And let's see if there's anything else in here. This one's going to be for Tevia. Tevia, how about this one? You like Superboy? There you go. There's my Superboy contribution, do you? Superboy looks in the mirror and you see old man Superboy. So there you have it. Oh. And that's it, guys. That's all I'm going to share with you today. The show went on for about an hour and 11 minutes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I really appreciate you. You guys coming out today. And there's a correction when he said the variant covers for Deceased. Because he said Marina, it's Matina. So that's why I was confused. And Peter's like, yeah, 12-cent Nick Furies. So, nice. Whatever happened to Nick Fury? Didn't he become a Watcher or something? Yes. Nick Fury did become a Watcher in the Marvel event called The Original Sin. So if you guys are interested to see what happened to Nick Fury, read that. That was actually a really good event. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And let's do it again next week. Hopefully you'll join me, whether I pick up new comics or not. I'll be here and I'll show you what I got instead. So guys, until next time, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. And again, like, share, subscribe, join, become a member, do all that great stuff. And I'll see you guys next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.